Again, you are tuned into One Play One Voice. This is where Liberians meet other nationals around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. Tonight is a very special edition of One Play One Voice audience, and we are here to give you information for free. I want to let you know that we have a great man that is well informed, that know Liberia very well. I mean, he got a lot of history on Liberia. We met him, the president, Mr. Jabo, for the Liberians Community of New York City Association, uh, took officials to his office. He is an international lawyer. He's going to give you his own introduction. But I want to let you know, audience, that tonight we are here to give you a very great show tonight. So I hope get some coffee, relax in your living room, and enjoy the show. So at this time, I will turn the microphone over to my co-host. As soon as he is a political commentator, he is a man I think you see all the time on Focus on Liberia. So he is also here in the studio tonight at One Play One Voice TV. So again, Brother Sony, welcome to the show.
James, thank you. I'm happy to be here at One Place, One Voice. One Place, One Voice is home to me now. As some of our audience are aware, I am always here to disseminate information that are useful to our people. And being here with an outstanding guest on a very important topic is something that excites me. And to have Councillor Theodore Davis, a gentleman who is knowledgeable about the immigration law and looking at the immigration benefits based on the Liberian Refugee Federal Act that was passed by Congress and signed into law by President Trump. Nothing better than discussing something that benefits our people, and with no other person than a well-learned lawyer who has unique understanding of how the immigration law works in America. So I'm happy to be here with Councillor Davis. Councillor Davis, at this time, I want to welcome you to One Place, One Voice. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Anthony Sia and Mr. Nuhan. I am humbled by the opportunity to express to you the wonderful opportunity to the Liberian people under LRIF. A little bit of background. 30 years ago, before I went to law school, I was a paralegal at the Liberian Ship Registry in New York City and in Virginia. I have a unique knowledge of the background and the customs and the history of Liberia, and it is my great pleasure to bring good news to the Liberian people. I'm an immigration attorney in New York City. I practice all around the country. I'm a solicitor in England, and this is the good news. On December 20, 2020, President Trump signed the Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness Act. We're going to call this LRIF, which enables any Liberian person who has been continuously present in the United States since November 20, 2014, until the day that they file for LRIF green card application, the opportunity to be an LPR in America. Let me give you a little bit of background on LRIF. Number one, the deadline to file is December 20, 2020. Number two, you must have proof that you are a Liberian citizen, be that a passport, a birth certificate, some refugee documentation. The first hurdle is to prove that you are Liberian. The second test is to show that you have been continuously present in the United States since November 20, 2014. I believe that was the day that TPS was established, arising from Ebola. Now, you can do that with your passport showing a stamp of entry. If you have tax returns or social security statements, birth certificates of children, other documentation, prove your continuous presence. For those of you who may have had a travel document, if you went outside the United States after November 20, 2014, so long as you did not stay outside of the United States for more than 180 days, you have continuous presence. Now, this particular green card application is distinct, in my professional opinion, from nearly every other green card application. You may have heard that President Trump says that folks who are going to pose an economic burden, be a public charge to the United States, cannot get green cards. This does not apply to LRIF. You don't have to worry if you had a child here and you had to get food stamps, SNAP, Medicaid, anything else. That is not a bar to LRIF. As a matter of fact, if you can't afford the filing fee to Homeland Security, you can get a filing fee waiver with proof of financial hardship. You may have been in removal proceedings before. You may have voluntary departure and never left. You could have a removal order from an immigration judge in an immigration court. You can still get the green card through LRIF. You might have appealed to the Board of Immigration Appeals, the BIA, and have a removal order or a pending case with the BIA. You can still get LRIF. You may have come with a cousin's passport because you were fleeing the bloodshed and seeking a better life in America. Maybe you came from Canada on a bus with no passport. You do not need to show that you entered with inspection to get LRIF. The door is usually this wide open for people seeking a green card. For Liberians under LRIF, this is the door. But the door will close December 20, 2020. If you can prove you are Liberian, prove continuous presence, and as the caveat for men between the age of 35 and 70, be prepared to show that you were not a warlord during the terrible times of the Civil War, you can get a green card. And if you have a wife or a child, unmarried, 21 years and under or over 21, who may not qualify for LRIF, if you qualify for LRIF, this other person may. Those are the basics of the LRIF green card. I remind you that the deadline to file is December 20, 2020. And I know you may be concerned. You may have been here for 20 years. You may have filed for TPS. You may have been under deferred and forced departure. You may have had your hopes dashed many times and be afraid to stand up now and say, take my fingerprints, take my name, take my date of birth, take my place of residence. Do not be afraid. If you file and you can prove your case, you can get a green card. I open the discussion up now to any questions to Mr. Say or Mr. Nuhan, and thank you very much for inviting me to speak tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Again, folks in cyberspace, you are watching One Place, One Voice. Yeah, at One Place, One Voice. We promote love, peace, and unity. But on this special edition of the show, we have with us Anthony Theodore Davis, who is a lawyer, and his emphasis is also in immigration law. He has known the Liberian community for over 25 years. So there can't be any other person that can give you information about this law that has given Liberians who have been here for so many years, especially those who came before 2014 November to apply for green card. And so we have him here, and he is explaining the law, and now we will be going into our questioning section. Mr. Davis, so you said that some Liberians who may be having some trouble with the law can also be qualified. I know you explained that a little bit, but you want to touch that. What might be some of the legal trouble for which some people who may be qualified will have to meet certain conditions before they can obtain a green card?
Thank you, Mr. Sia. There are two restrictions to the LRIF green card arising from any criminal behavior in the United States. If someone has been convicted of 2 misdemeanors for crimes involving moral turpitude, immigration lawyers call it CIMT, you may not qualify. In addition, if you have served time for an aggravated felony, that's a felony where you were in jail for over a year, probably involving a weapon, you probably don't qualify. Caveat: there is a waiver under Form I-601 if you can show hardship to your U.S. citizen spouse or children. If you don't get the waiver, you may still qualify for LRIF. So to my clients, the first thing that I ask them in my office, within the 4 walls, the door is closed, be completely honest with me. Have you been arrested? If so, for what? Do you have dispositions? If you've been arrested once, maybe a driving violation or something minor, it may not be, it's probably not a bar. If you were arrested for something that might be major, it could be a bar. And I will tell you if you're wasting your time. But even if you have 2 crimes involving moral turpitude or 1 aggravated felony, while you do not qualify, there may be a waiver if you have a qualifying relative, say a wife or children in the United States, who would suffer hardship if you did not get the green card. The other side to this bar may be to men who are between the age of 35 and 70. There is a bar to the green card if you have ever harmed anybody on account of political opinion, gender, social group. In other words, if you were a warlord in Liberia during the civil wars, you can't get this green card. I'm not quite sure how USCIS will be able to test this, but if they can find any records that show that you were carrying a weapon during the Civil War, you might be barred from this green card. I would think that most people who are here were fleeing that sort of trouble. And those who were warlords have remained in Liberia or probably are deceased.
Thank you for the answer right there. My next question is, I know for every application, there has to be a fee. So what is the fee for Liberians who are qualified to apply for this special green card?
Mr. Sia, the fee payable to the United States Department of Homeland Security is $1,225. I have no control over that fee. That's what it is. Now, if someone can prove that they have financial hardship, maybe they're getting a means-tested benefit, they're getting food stamps, Medicaid, they have tax returns showing that they earn less than the minimum poverty guidelines in the United States, they could qualify for a Form I-912 fee waiver for the I-485. And this is very unique to the LRIF program. I'm sure many of our listeners tonight are concerned about what the administration has said about being a public charge. If you have received Medicaid or food stamps, SNAP, it is not a bar to filing for a fee waiver under LRIF. The director of EOIR, the Executive Office of Immigration Review, James McHenry, in Northern Virginia, has promulgated a notice dated January 13, 2020, stating that these normal limitations that would preclude you, that would keep you from getting a green card, do not apply to LRIF. So if you are poor, if you cannot afford the $1,225 filing fee, you can apply for a filing fee waiver. You need to show evidence of financial hardship. And there may be additional vetting, something known as an RFE, request for evidence from USCIS to prove that you have financial hardship. But Mr. CA, in answer to your question, the filing fee is $1,225 payable to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. But if you can prove financial hardship, you can file for a waiver and possibly avoid that fee.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Again, to our audience following here in cyberspace, this is One Place, One Voice. We have with us Anthony Davis. He is a lawyer by profession, and he knows the Liberian community. There is no lawyer that we know who is more knowledgeable about the Liberian community than he does. And so you can tell that he understands this immigration law to his fingertip. That is why we brought him in and asking him questions to explain how the immigration law works, especially the one that has been passed by Congress for Liberians only. And we are encouraging every Liberian who came to the United States before November of 2014 to apply. He just answered a very critical question about the fee that you need to pay for your application. It's $1,225. And based on your income, you can also apply for a waiver. So my question is, if you are applying for waiver, I know you say you have to prove it, but then if it cannot be proven, what other options there are other than just paying the money?
I don't think there are any other options. The burden is on the applicant to prove financial hardship. If you have a Social Security number and you're paying taxes, let's see your tax return. If you have received benefits like SNAP, food stamps, Medicaid, income enhancement, anything, prove that. If you don't have any of those, let's be creative. Show me your lease. Show me your bills. Give me an affidavit from your employer saying your salary is $10 an hour. Do the math. The Form I-912, it's not a guarantee, it's an application for a fee waiver. And I assure you that USCIS will vet the application thoroughly. The more ways that you can prove that you have a financial hardship, the more likely that the fee waiver shall be granted. But remember, If you're filing for a fee waiver, that's an additional look at USCIS, by USCIS, at your application. It may result in a lengthier time of adjudication before your LRIF green card is granted. So if you may be on the cusp of financial hardship and you're thinking you can save money by filing the waiver, maybe you shouldn't file a waiver. There could be 10, 15, 20, 30,000 or more applications coming into an already overburdened USCIS system. I recommend that you don't give USCIS a greater reason to delay the adjudication of your LRIF application. If you are truly a person with financial hardship, can't afford the fee, talk to your attorney. If you're on the cusp trying to save money, don't do it. Pay the fee.
Thank you. And you talk about poverty guideline, and I think that would be more like a threshold for somebody who may be working, but maybe because the fact that they are below the poverty guideline, they still might be qualified for a waiver. So what is the poverty guideline in terms of amount?
Well, it depends upon the size of the household.
Okay.
If you're a single person, it's one. If you're married, a child, maybe somebody else, you can Google minimum poverty guidelines. I use this very often for green card applications based upon a marital relationship. That's a form I-864 affidavit of support, in which you have to show that you make 125% above the minimum poverty guideline to be a sponsor for a form I-864. Now, an I-864 does not pertain to the LRIF application, but I refer to the minimum poverty guidelines as a guide to see if your household might fall below the minimum poverty guidelines. So perhaps take a look at that.
All right. So this application, this immigration benefit, this green card opportunity that has been given to Liberians only apply to Liberian who came here before November of 2014. Is that correct?
Yes. There are two provisions. Number one, you have to prove that you are Liberian. Can you still hear me? Because I can see you, but I can't see myself.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So number one, prove that you're a Liberian. Number two, prove that you have continuous presence since November 20, 2014, with the exception that, say, maybe that you were applying for a green card through a marriage and you had a travel document. As long as you haven't been outside the United States more than 180 days since November 20, 2014, you qualify. For people that came after November 20, 2014, you do not qualify. However, if you have a parent or a spouse who qualifies, James McHenry, the director of the Executive Office of Immigration Review, has promulgated a guidance memo dated January 13, 2020 that says, so long as you are the unmarried son or daughter under the age of 21 or the unmarried son or daughter over the age of 21 or the spouse of someone who does qualify, you too can file for LRIF. Let's give a case study. You came here from Monrovia on Christmas Day, 2018. You don't qualify. But your father has been in the United States since 1997. And he qualifies. you qualify. You came here Easter 2015. You just missed it. But you married a man or woman who came here in 2006 and qualifies. You qualify by an exception. So a short answer to the short question is that if you were not here since November 20, 2014, you do not qualify. But if you have a qualifying relationship, a parent or a spouse who qualifies, you can file even if you were not here on November 20, 2014. And this is from a memorandum from the Executive Office of Immigration Review itself.
Thank you. All right. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
All right. And I was about to ask this question. You talk about qualifying relationship for somebody or an applicant who was not here and does not meet the requirement in terms of residency, meaning time frame you have moved to the U.S. that qualifies you. And now you may be qualified because of a relationship that you may have. Does that relationship have to be a legal relationship, meaning you have to be married? Why, if it is a fiancé, will that hold?
Based upon my information, if it's a fiancé, no. You have to have a qualifying relationship as of the date of the filing. Now, if you are a fiancé right now, perhaps Cupid's arrow will fly. Valentine's Day is coming. So if you were to marry a qualifying person prior to the December 20, 2020 deadline, I see no restriction by which that person who would not normally qualify would then qualify.
Thank you. Right there, folks, in cyberspace, you heard it. So if you had a relationship that qualifies based on residency and you want to take advantage of a qualifying relationship, that qualifying relationship means somebody you are married to and not just a girlfriend as we refer to it in our LIBERIAN English. So if you are qualified on the basis of a qualifying relationship, it has to be a marriage, meaning that you move here after November of 2014, and that marriage that qualifies you, the person to whom you are married must have moved here before November of 2014, and you can be qualified on that basis. Very, very important piece of information right there. Oh, James, let me bring you in.
Sure.
Our people who are following, I hope they are taking note. Is that something you will advise them to do?
Oh, well, again, you are tuned into One Play One Voice. Brother C, thank you so much for bringing the mic over to me. First of all, I want to give many thanks to Mr. David for that fruitful information given to our people here into the community. Mr. David, I just, first of all, audience that watching, thank you so much for the love in the studio. But I just want to let you know if you want to call in, this is how you're going to call to ask Mr. Davis. You got to call via Messenger. You got to call through Messenger. When you call through Messenger, your voice will be in the studio. Mr. David going to hear you talking to him, and he will be able to answer your question. We do not have phone number. I'm going to repeat. Audience, if you want to call to ask tonight, you will have to call through tune into One Play One Voice Messenger, and we will give you a chance to ask your question that you want to ask. But again, I want to give thanks to Mr. David for those information that he just that was given to our people. Mr. David, I want to ask you a question. So we know and we understand that the filing process is going on, and I also understand that we have approximately about 10 months, for our people to file in their application. I was reading the fact sheet here, and I came down to where it said you can still qualify if you have received full stem, Medicaid, or another benefit. And then in the parentheses you have public charge restriction do not apply. Can you better explain that? Because I know some of our people maybe might be having some benefits and they might be afraid also thinking that they will not be accepted for the application. Can you just explain that a little bit? Thank you so much.
James, to my Liberian brothers and sisters who have received any public benefit, be not afraid. Be honest. When you file this application and they ask you, have you ever received a public benefit? Don't let someone tell you, say, tick the box for no. No, no, no. When they take your fingerprints, the government knows the answer. Be honest. President Trump himself has signed off on this legislation that says even if you received a public benefit, food stamps, Medicaid, something else, if you are a Liberian national, you've been here since November 20, 2014, do not worry about being a public charge. Anybody else in the world, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Mali, England, France, Russia, China, if you're coming here to get benefits, you can't get a green card. If you're from Liberia, be honest. If you have taken a public benefit, you still qualify. You will not be rejected. This is a unique opportunity. It applies to nobody else on the planet. Mali, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Benin, Togo, England, Iceland, Antarctica. Somebody from Mars shows up. They had a public benefit, they can't get a green card. People from Liberia, you will not be considered a public charge, no matter what you have needed to provide for yourself or your family. Public charge does not apply. Don't be afraid to apply for LRIF. You will not be denied. And be honest, that's the most important thing. The Form I-485 is 18 pages long, a lot of blah, 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 biographical, but the last 3 pages may catch you. There are yes or no questions. Are you a Nazi? Tick no. Did you come here without a visa? Maybe you did. Don't be afraid to tick the box yes. Did you ever work without authorization? My cousin said I better say no. No. If you've been here 10 years and you worked in a deli for cash, tick the box yes. Because when USCIS takes your fingerprints and your facial photograph, they know everything. It is a test to see if you can be honest. Be honest. If you have received a public benefit, and you get to that question, it's about page 11, number 28, and you received a public benefit, do not lie. It is not a bar to LRIF. The executive director of EOIR, James McHenry, has said, this does not apply to Liberians. Be honest. If you receive food stamps, SNAP, anything, tick the box yes and be honest. They will not keep the green card from you. They won't send you away. So, James, if someone's poor and has had a need that has been fulfilled by the United States, if they are Liberian and have been here long enough, they can still get the green card.
Very good. Thank you so much again, Mr. Davis, for those kind of great information that you are giving to our people out there. We really appreciate everything that you're doing tonight. I just, visited your office, I want to give you many thanks, the way you welcome us, your gesture and everything. I mean, it was well welcoming and, really, really appreciate everything that you are doing, and by the way of information, when I was at the meeting tonight, at the Liberian community meeting, everyone in there appreciated every information that you gave out, and we told them you're going to be here tonight, and I believe they are watching us tonight. But you said something very interesting at that meeting. I want you to clarify. You talk about somebody fighting in Liberia, like holding arm in a picture, and someone took a picture of that person. I take for instance holding AK-47. So can you clarify that area, please? Thank you so much.
Yes, there are very few limitations to the LRIF green card. The public charge doesn't apply. If you came with your cousin's passport or you sneaked into Canada on a bus, doesn't apply. If you have a removal order, doesn't apply. But what does apply is that if you have ever harmed anybody on account of their political opinion or gender or race, in other words, if you during the revolution were holding a gun and were harming people, if you were a warlord, you can't get this green card. Now, I'm not too sure how strictly USCIS is going to enforce this. It's going to be a very difficult process. I don't think records were kept during, the Charles Taylor days, but it is possible that any male between the age of 35 and 70 who applies, you may receive what's called an RFE, a request for evidence, that says you have the burden of proof to show that you are not a warlord. How are we going to do this? You may give me medical records that show you have gunshot wounds in your belly, but maybe that's because you were fighting. I don't know. If you can show that you were in school, that you were not involved in these things, if you have any of these records, this may be a way to respond to the RFE. Now, I don't know how strictly USCIS is going to enforce the application, but I anticipate that it is a possibility that any male between the age of 35 and 70 may be asked questions to prove that they didn't harm anybody. And if that applies to you, then you should start to garner any records in support: church records, school records, medical records, family photographs, maybe death certificates of family members who were slaughtered, to prove your burden that you were not part of the warlords.
Thank you.
Very good, very good.
Again, folks, in cyberspace, this is One Place, One Voice, and we have with us Anthony Davis, who is a lawyer by profession, and his emphasis is also in immigration law, and he has unique understanding of the immigration law, especially the one granting green cards to Liberians who move here before November of 2014, and he is advising you to apply, and we want to make sure you do that. Let us come to this question. James, you want us to take a musical break?
Yeah, let's take a quick musical break
All right.
to give Mr. David, a chance to drink some, water, because this is awesome, and I really appreciate him a lot. So let's take a break and give him like 1 or 2 minutes to just drink some water if you want to drink some water. So let's
All
take
right.
a break.
Audience, we are taking a musical break. We'll be right back. Please, if you have any question, type in your question, and when we come back, we'll make sure we read your question out to Mr. Davis for him to answer. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
That's right. And also to add on, my brother Anthony, what he said, or if you have a question, you can post it, yes, and you can also call our messenger, we can take your call, so you can voice out or ask him directly. So again, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Jano Yawonima Pia Anyina Boniremo
Leso Ebane so cuireso Leso Loge kenga leso O miame Leso Malodie mama we Zayo le Pagepa mirane Bageba mere wan kleo, bageba mi de yore kada krudebe, me bana pangpenye. Ya kenewe, bagbe koke kenewe, ya gbare ya so kwide se o. Beli kene bona, yela ya kemba, gbale ya so kwide se o. Mine ka kenewe. Papa koke newe Aya mane so kuide so Zayo le Kwa kumpile pile Zera peda kumo pesa kala da den na kakaleke Mia kai kala kakle The way you looking Jele butter cooking No monkey can take you from me Let me be your king So you can be my queen I'm not joking Assemble Luna pele padam I would have been so Masami level and wake here They're going to my country They see Bobo in your care You mesro Jeans were great Yeah Let me now Come in now Mega desi boga ponazia Mega gosi boga ponazia Kakwe yega kenu webo ya gbane ya so kwide se So cuireso Leseo Loge kenga leseo Leseo Malodie mama we Ulewe Kakum baby Bene Quiet Do the pele padrama with the piso No way, malembe o. No way, madamo. Go see them new.
All right. So you tune into One Play One Voice. This is where Liberians meet other nationalities around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. Again, we want to welcome you once more to One Play One Voice. We are always here to inform our people on what's going on in New York City. So you are wholeheartedly welcome tonight. But it's a special edition of One Play One Voice. We have our co-host here, Anthony CA, and we also have our attorney, Mr. David, who is an international lawyer, very well informed about Liberia. So we are welcome to ask questions by posting or also calling our messenger. When you call our messenger, your voice will be in the studio. You can ask the question. Somebody just posted, Michael Vani said, "Good morning to you and the peace-loving people of Liberia. Thank you so much from wherever you're calling from. God bless you for just making that comment here tonight." So at this time, we turn the microphone over to our brother Anthony C. Thank you.
James, thank you. And Mr. Davis, let's bring you in. You were able to explain this immigration benefit, which is a green card that most Liberians are qualified for. And now my question is that people who want to reach you so that you can help them with their application process, what are the ways that they can reach you?
Thank you, Anthony. There are three ways that I can be reached. Number one, my office number is 718-361-6789. I have three ladies working for me. One is Aminata. She's from Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. Another lady that works for me as a paralegal is Awa. She was on the national basketball team.
Oh, he cut off.
Oh,
Yeah, for some reason he cut off.
yeah, I can't hear him.
Yeah.
All right, folks, in cyberspace, again, this is One Place, One Voice. It seems to be we lost our guest right there, but he was providing a phone number that you can use to reach him, and he can be of service to you if you are a Liberian who is qualified for the green card and wish to apply so as to obtain your green card. That number is 618-361.
No.
No, it's the wrong number. As soon as see it, I just posted.
Right.
I just posted it up anyway. It's up.
Okay. All right.
I'm back online.
Okay.
All
Thank you,
right.
Anthony.
Thank you. All right. We got our guest back in studio. Mr. Davis, again, we don't know what happened there, but we are happy to have you because our people need the information so that they can get to you. This green card, it is a very, very good one-time opportunity. And like you said, even the unknown species on planet is not qualified other than a Liberian. So
Wow.
how can they reach
That's
you?
right. I had two men from Jupiter come to my office today. I took a retention fee, but I sent them out. If you're from Liberia, November 20, 2014,
Right.
you qualify.
Okay.
I like that.
So my telephone number is 718-361-6789.
Right.
That's the office number. Ask for Aminata. Ask for Awa. Ask for the attorney that also works in my office, Mr. Cassell. We have other staff coming on very shortly. I have a mobile phone. If it's an emergency, you can call my mobile phone. You may call me as I'm having dinner with my children, but my children understand this is a very important opportunity. Daddy will take the call. If you can't reach my office, my mobile phone is 917 916 6789.
Thank you so very much. All right, folks, you heard the number there, and their video, as you are aware, will be on Facebook for you to come and listen to it. For those of you who just joining us, the video will also be uploaded to YouTube. But the numbers that been giving you are the best number to call, because you still may have some questions that no other person can better answer than our guest, Mr. Davis, who is not just any other lawyer. He is more than a Liberian lawyer. He has been with the Liberian community for more than 25 years. So he understands, he knows us. So he's the best lawyer to file your application with, and then you can be assured that he will give you the right information for you to obtain your green card. Mr. Davis, my other question is that what can Liberians who are qualified do for have the application expedited? I know most of the immigration benefit, there are times, depending on some reason, the application need to be expedited. I mean, is there an opportunity for any of the application or anybody to request that the application be, or their application be expedited?
Yes, Anthony, there are two ways. Number one, if anybody has DED, Deferred Enforcement Departure, your work authorization will expire March 30, 2020. There is a method by which we can file for an expedited renewed work authorization if you file for LRIF. Now, as far as the general LRIF application, I do not see any mode yet through USCIS or EOIR to expedite it. But if you have a debilitating medical condition, or someone in your family has a debilitating medical condition, provide me proof, and we can always try to talk to somebody and expedite the application. The only other way to expedite the application is like this. There are 10,000 people going to a concert, and the concert will seat 2,000 people. And there is one tunnel going to the concert that takes one car every 5 minutes. You better be in the front of the line, or you won't get to the concert.
You heard that? If you want to apply, you don't want to be on that wait list.
That's right.
You want to be at the front row. I mean, who doesn't like a front row? Nobody can tell you how you have been living in the shadow. And you are lucky to be a Liberian. I'm proud to be a Liberian now, Mr. Davis. I mean, Liberians are the only one who are qualified for the benefit, and you are a Liberian, you qualify, you want to wait. If you don't have the money, the best advice, he said, find the money. But if you qualify for waiver based on the fact that your income is low, there's a poverty guideline he talked about earlier. You want to double check that. But the best thing to do if you have questions is to reach out to Counselor Davis, and he will answer your question and help you with your application process. Folks in cyberspace, this is One Place, One Voice. Yet at One Place, One Voice, we promote nothing but love, peace, and unity.
Right.
Let's come back to you, Counselor. Why, I'm just curious, Liberia has to be the only country qualified
Myself, I'm curious.
for this significant benefit. We feel special, but I just want to know why.
I'm curious myself. I want to know.
To the Christians from Liberia, Emmanuel, God with us. You have suffered long. You have prayed. You have been disappointed. You've gone day after day after day. There is nothing that will help me. And to the Muslims from Liberia and the animists from Liberia, this is a blessing. This is a wide open door. There is a unique relationship between the United States and Liberia. Goes back to the founding of Monrovia, Firestone Rubber Company. Senators in Rhode Island and Minnesota have fought hard. Minnesota, not Amy Klobuchar, who I think would be a great president, but the other senator, have fought hard for you. And this was put into a bill signed by the president. Also, the Chinese are making footholds in Africa. America does not want China to get into America's brethren, sister state, Liberia. I think that. And you know what? Maybe there is no reason. Maybe it's just divine providence. Don't ask questions when you are blessed. Accept the blessing.
That's right.
Accept the blessing and run with it. That I will do. And I think my Liberian brothers and sisters who are qualified will also do the same thing. Again, to you, our audience, you may have a status and may not have to apply for a green card, but you have friends, you have family who are qualified. Either based on a qualifying relationship, we will advise and encourage you to share this information with you.
That's right.
There was a number, 2 numbers to be specific, that were called. Make sure you share that phone number with them so that they can be able to reach out to Councilor Davis. He is more than willing. He has people in his office that work along with him. He got somebody who is from Burkina Faso. That is your African fellow human being. They will be more than glad to help. But most importantly, Councilor Davis is a Liberian. I want to propound an argument here by culture. He has been in our community for so long.
That's right.
He knows our history.
That's right.
I mean, you just heard him right there telling you, because America has had a sisterly, brotherly relationship with Liberia. You Liberians know the story. I'm not a historian to teach you here. So you want to share that information to your loved ones and family who meet this particular qualification, which is the green card. We are happy to have had you, Mr. Davis. I think you gave us everything we need, but still, we will share this information with our people, and we will now ask you for your parting comment.
Before you come in, I just want to ask this last question, Mr. David, and then you can just follow it up with your, your closing statement. So let's take for instance, right now, Berlusconi is all the way in Minnesota, and let's say you have maybe 10, 15, or just whatever number call on you to go to Minnesota to file an application. Can you a little bit explain to the public or to the audience how will you do that? Will you fly over, or what are you going to do?
Yes, absolutely. I have already spoken with immigration attorneys who are affiliated with me in Minneapolis. I can either rent out some office space or utilize a colleague space, or perhaps I'll just get a couple of suites in a hotel and bring my staff with me. We have everything we need. Make an appointment. I can come to Minneapolis and see 100 people in a weekend. I can see 1,000 in a week. We have the resources. We have the knowledge to help you. Even if you don't hire me, speak to an attorney. Don't go to a non-lawyer that says that they can do it for you for $500 because there are some very important questions that only an attorney can counsel you on. I can come to Minneapolis, give me notice, we'll take care of as many people as possible. But if I cannot, only deal with an attorney who is reputable and ethical and honest, because you will get caught up on the yes or no questions if somebody tells you to lie. But I can come to see you.
Thank you so much. Now your closing statement to the audience, to say good night, before you leave.
Well, thank you very much. I am humbly honored to serve the Liberian people. I've known you and your culture and your struggles for 30 years. I'm sure many people watching me tonight may not have even been born 30 years ago. I'm an attorney in New York City with a family. I'm an immigration attorney. I know Liberia. I have represented West African peoples, Wolof, Jola, Seninge, peoples from all around West Africa for 25 years. This is a unique opportunity. The lane is wide open for only Liberians. If you can show that you've been here since November 20, 2014, I can help you. Trust an attorney. Good luck and God bless America. And one last thing. I know that Liberia has peoples from 12 different ethnic groups. I know West Africa. Their countries don't have that many ethnic groups. There's a lot of struggle, there's tension. But there's a statement in America on the dollar bill. E pluribus unum. From many, one. E pluribus unum. Liberian people, I'm here to help you. Thank you. God bless. Good night.
Thank you so much, our brother, father. We are very honored to have you tonight. To just, the love you shown us, it will never be forgotten. We say thank you so much for just tuning in tonight. Brother, see it? That's how we end the topic. You want to give a closing statement? And then from there, we'll be out from here. I think I lost the audio from Brother C. Brother C, if you hear me, your audio is off. Your audio is off. For some reason, there you go. There you go. Hello?
Yeah, James, I'm here now.
All right. I'm here you now.
I was just about to say to our many viewers, we want to say thank you for spending this time with us. You heard Councillor Davis. He provided very good and useful information for our friends and family and loved ones who are qualified for this one-time opportunity of applying for the green card as a Liberian. Once you move here before November of 2014, you are qualified. Or if you were married or are married to a woman or the man who was here before November of 2014, and then you came after that, you are still qualified. It's called qualifying relationship. No boyfriend and girlfriend business can qualify you on that one. You must apply. The deadline to apply is at the end of this year. You want to make sure you apply right away. Don't waste any time. And so this is what will do it for us. This video will be on Facebook. Those of you who missed it from the start, you can watch it. We will upload it on YouTube. You can also watch it. But don't forget, as you watch the video, make sure you get the 2 phone numbers that were provided by the counselor. Those are your best option in terms of understanding this benefit and how to apply it. Yes, he said the application can also be expedited. In other words, they can speed it up. It is possible. But again, you have to call that number and reach out to him. It doesn't matter what state you're in. Any state you're in, you can still call that number and he will tell you how he can be of help to you. you want to go with a lawyer who knows Liberia like you yourself know Liberia. That way, he can guide you and help you to get this one-time green card. The fee for this special green card for only Liberians is $1,225. So when you finish filing your taxes, the first money you want to put aside, if you don't have that money right now, is that application fee for your green card. Thank you. My name is Anthony C. Ben, co-hosting with Brother James Dohan. It was a pleasure spending my time with you. And that will do it for me from here in the cold state of Minnesota. Bye-bye. James?
Thank you so much, Brother C. I mean, I don't even know how to say thank you. Tonight, you've been a very awesome co-host. Asking those, questions. I know people are laughing, But again, Brother C. We'll always have you in the studio here. This is your studio. We work together very well, and it will be a pleasure to have you back here soon. So thank you so much, and have a great night.
Thank you, James.
All right. So again, folks, I just want to say, take advantage of what you heard tonight. There is nothing more we can do other than what we have done. Inviting Tito M. Davids to come here to accurately let you know exactly what's going on. Sometimes, we Liberians sometimes often sit and procrastinate things. But I don't think this is a time. We are very fortunate. And I strongly believe, I agree with Mr. David. He say, it's because we have a close relationship, with America. So we've been very favored, and we are working very hard to make sure that our people are well protected in America. So reaching out, we have our president that's doing a dynamic work, His Excellency Jabo. Want to give you many thanks and appreciation. A man who leading his people with care and caution, making sure that his people are well protected. So tonight again, we want to urge you to take advantage. If you are undocumented in America, and you want to file in your paperwork, please try to file in. It's very important. I am going to go over this fact sheet again, just to conclude the broadcast tonight. Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness Act, that is the LRIF. I want to just make sure that go over this fact sheet, and I will conclude it by giving his number. Please do not hesitate. Rich Mr. Davis is going to help you to file your application. He's well informed. He knows us the Liberians, and he ready to open his arm to us. And through the community in New York City, he giving us some discount, extra 500 discount. So please take advantage. Our Liberians want to make sure that you are okay, because we strongly believe after the deadline, which is December 20, 2020, if you do not take action, then hold your peace. And this is the best we can do to give you the information. So again, I'm going to read through the fact sheet, and I will conclude the broadcast tonight. So you only have until December 20, 2020 to file your application. All right. You must prove that you are a Liberian national. As long as you have a passport and you've been here since 2014, you are eligible to file in your application. You must prove continued presence in the United States since November 20, 2014 until the date that you file your application. As long as you can prove as a Liberians, you do not have to be on DED, you do not have to be on TPS, and that's how favored we are, we Liberians in America. We want to appreciate the senator that fought for us, for Mr. Trump to prove, this bill. We are very grateful, as a broadcaster in New York City. I personally want to say thank you so much to whoever fought hard for us, for our people to have the chance to file in the application. We are grateful and we are honored and very pleased to inform our people on this, and I want to make sure they are well protected under the law. If you have departed from the United States since November 20, 2014, you are still eligible, but there is a tick, right? So long as you have not been outside the United States for more than 180 days, then you are good to go. All right, I repeat, as long you was not out of the country November of 2014, you did not step outside the country for more than 180 days, you are qualified to get the benefit as a Liberian. All right, you must not have been convicted of an aggravated felony, all right, or have two convictions involving moral turpitude in the United States, and you must have never harmed anyone in Liberia. In other words, in Liberia, we had a war in Liberia from 1989 all the way up to 2003. So if you was not fighting in the war, but if, even you are, I mean, let's take for instance, sometimes they might have take a picture and you had an arm into your hand. According to Mr. David, he told us, as long as you have people to prove, that you was not fighting in the war, you will also be eligible for that program, for the LRIF, okay? You can stay qualified if you enter without a passport or with someone else's passport. Liberians, I don't know how to explain to you this. We are so favored by the American government, because of the close relationship that we have with America, So if even you enter, if even you came in this country, all right, if you came in the country without a Liberian passport, or you came in with someone else's passport, you are qualified to file in. We want to make sure that you get this information. It's very important. You can stay qualified if you receive full STEM. It doesn't matter. If you've been receiving full STEM, Medicaid, or another benefit, public charge or charges restriction do not apply to the LRIF. It's very important that you take note of this information that we're giving you, our fellow Liberians, so that you can run with it and try to send your application in before December 20 of 2020 this year. That is about 10 months from here to that time. Okay, you can stay qualified if you are in removal proceedings or have a removal order. Waivers may be available for hardship if you do not meet the above requirement. All right, in other words, you can still be qualified when you are in removal proceedings. You can be qualified to apply for that benefit to get green card. Okay, if approved, you will receive your green card. The initial consultation is free. So he invited us to your office and everything giving us tonight. And when we went to your office, it was also free. I want you to understand that I went to David's office. Just to show you a picture of when we went to here, we met him. So in those pictures, you have on my far left facing, the studio. That's me right there. And right after me, the next was Mohammed Keita. And then Mr. David himself was with us. And then we have the president, of course, of our community, Jabo. He was also with us when we got to his office to give us these great information that I'm sharing with you tonight. All right, let's go down the list. The initial consultation fee we say is 1,500, but he will make sure to give it to you with 1,200 to prepare and file your complete LRIF green card application, including the application for work authorization card and travel document. The filing fee will be $1,225, payable to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. That is the USCIS. All right. Filing fee waiver for hardship may be sought if you can prove financial hardship. So in other words, if you are poor and you don't have money, and as long as you can prove that, they will waive the fee and then do the application for you free. All right. Things to bring to your appointment. Take note of that. This video will also be converted to YouTube, so you can always go there and play it and to get the information. All Liberian passport you send your first U.S. entry and birth certificate if available. All right. Number two passport size photos. All right. 3, copy of marriage certificate if married, and copy of children birth certificate if any. All right. Any and all USCIS records. If you have ever been in immigration removal, all right, proceedings, or sought prior benefit from USCIS, okay, retainer fee will be there as well. So again, if you want to reach Mr. David, I'm going to give the number for the last time. His number to the office is 718-361-6789. Okay, according to him, when you have an emergency and you want to reach him for him to talk to you as a Liberian, you can call his cell phone. It's 917-916-6789. So that's it for tonight. Again, my name is James. We are here providing information to our people. We want to make sure that our people get the information they need to benefit from. So, your humble servant James, and also I want to give many thanks to Asoni CA, for the job well done. He's an awesome brother. I live in Minnesota. He's always here when we need him, to provide such information. We say, brother CA, I lift my hat up to you. Thank you so much for, participating in this interview as a co-host. With that said, again, my name is James. You are tuned with One Play One Voice, bringing back our African tradition to the USA. Let's unite is all about African connection. We strongly believe united we stand, divided we fall. So with that said, that's how we end the broadcast tonight. I love you all, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
So we sport. Yeah. I'm back on track. I'm back 2018. Chicken go. Marshall Highway. Then we'll get seen. I'm bringing you soldier, In my daddy. I'm back with Sawa. Emmanuel, from where they down. Probably I'll be gone president. 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 Joey, I'll be gone president. Probably I'll be gone president. Probably I'll be gone president because they suffering in Liberia. That's a car. They want to name your phone. But they never want to name your phone. Anybody can become somebody, So we have become African best. From that he become European best. From that he become one best. From that he become ambassador. From that he become senator. Today he become president for us. Today he become president for us. We go you one time, but the other time we think we can. The other time we think that time. Everybody enjoy yourself.
Hi, my name is James Lohan. I'm the director for One Play One Voice. It's a business of production. We do a lot. So we build websites. We do interview worldwide. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. We can interview you. All you gotta do, we have an ad. We provide you with an ad, and you can sit right into your living room and drink your coffee, and James can interview you. So again, this One Play One Voice is a business of production in New York City. We are registered. I want to let you know, so feel free to call us. You can email us at onplayonevoice@gmail.com, or you can also visit jamesopov.com to see what we do. So again, we build website, we build all social platforms. We serve our community. So reach out to us, and we are here to serve you. All right. So again, One Play One Voice is a voice of the African.